Well, hello everyone, welcome to Korea for round 16 of Season 4 of my F1 2012 Career Mode. I am LoveSpuds, and today my objective is to finish first, as it is in every race, but still. It means I had a half decent qualifying session. I usually do relatively well around this track. Some of the tight twisty turns often suit me better than the AI for some reason, which is kind of weird because usually in tight twisty tracks the AI usually pull out a lot faster lap times than me, so it's kind of weird that this one's a different way. Maybe I got good angles on the corners. Maybe, I don't know. Anyway, first sector time 35 seconds. And there's two long straights. As you dive straight into sector 2, gotta be brave enough to keep your foot down on the gas here. I'm not quite brave enough to keep the DRS open. You can do it if you got the high downforce settings, but I haven't, so I would be able to do that. Looks like I'm going to be crossing the line first, so no benchmark time to set, aim for yet. If you go across the second sector line at 1:18.5. It's looking okay so far. Perhaps not 100% perfect, but it's pretty decent for the setting, the difficulty, I suppose. So jump racing straight for the line. It's going to be our 1:39.618. Raikkonen immediately beats that time. But I am second. By 3/10. Just off the pace a little bit. Excuse me. Just yawning. Still in with the chance of taking as constructors. Well, Jensen better stay on the pace like it was last time out, because I'm gonna shoot straight into the lead. Let's see what I can do. It's always a bit dodgy getting the braking zone for this corner just right, and luckily I managed to get it spot on pretty much. So that's the biggest problem out the way. But later on in the race it does become a bit more of a problem when your tyres start to be worn and you start to lock up a bit more. I know I did that a couple of times last year. I had quite a bit of a lead last year. Pretty much threw that lead away when I was in the Ferrari, and allowed the guys behind to catch up. I think it was Grosjean and Raikkonen again. So the Lotus is doing pretty damn well. And that's why I want to get Grosjean's seat next year. Team up with Raikkonen, so I can see if I can finally win the Constructors' Championship if I don't manage to do it this year. Ooh, looks like that button actually has fallen back quite far, so it doesn't look like he's going to score any points today. But the good news is Grosjean is 14th. We had a first lap incident, but I went wide on the first corner, which has allowed Raikkonen to get ahead, unfortunately. Now I'm under attack from Schumacher. It's quite irritating. I lost the lead, but hopefully maybe we'll actually have a bit of a race today, maybe. Who knows? Even I can't remember what happened in this race. I think I knew what happened. I know what happened towards the end. But that's about it. So I keep going silent at times. For some reason I am yawning a little bit. I have woken up just after all, so I'm just like a bit groggy. As a general note, I will reply to your comments, and we'll have a look at your comments at the very least at some point soon. I've just been pumping these videos out and just plainly uploading them to YouTube, and that's about it. That's all I've been doing on YouTube. So it's not like I'm ignoring your messages. Just be aware that I will look at them at some point, especially the ones that need an answer to. So I'm working on it, don't you worry. Just got a lot to do at the minute. I've also got to make the rest of the season. And that's about 4 more videos after this one. And I've got a few more Racing 7 videos to do as well. And a little update video as well, explaining what the hell's going on in the end of the month, because I've been leaving a lot of clues as to what's happening at the end of the month. And long-time viewers and people who watch the videos all the way through will know that I'm moving house at the end of the month. So yeah, I've got to pretty much get the series done and out of the way. Hence the pretty much daily uploads at the minute. Oh, well, excuse me. Oh man, I can't stop yawning for some reason. But anyway, yeah, having a bit of trouble staying on track here, so Raikkonen's going to get further and further away. Luckily though, Schumacher's staying behind though. Can't seem to catch up just yet. Although he's probably waiting for me to make another few mistakes, then he'll probably pounce. As I said, in this tight twisted section now, I do seem to be doing quite well. So hopefully I can use those sectors to catch up on them. I'm not entirely sure what my acceleration's like on the straights, but I think I might be keeping up with them. I don't know. I just don't know what happened to Grosjean yet. If he's down in 14th, and then again, I don't know what happened to Button either, because he looks further back than 14th. He looks like 16th or something. No idea what happened at the start. Maybe Grosjean had a bit of a funny moment, tried to ram someone. See that? Yeah, there we go. Outbraked myself there on that corner. Locked up the tyres. Luckily, I was in a position to keep in front of Schumacher, so that's fine. Although Raikkonen is building that gap up, 4.4 seconds. I'm going to start losing him if I'm not careful. Oh, and someone's retired from the race. How lovely. What was I looking at? Oh, I was looking at my tyre wear, just to be sure, because I want to be aware when it starts going off. Because sometimes my setups mean that my tyres goes off pretty quickly. Some others mean that they don't. So I think this is one of those times when they're going to go off quite a bit, especially with the lateral load on it, going around all these tight corners. Tyres have got to work pretty hard. It's that last kink there before this long sweeping right hand corner that can catch you out. You can bounce off that curb and it can spin you around. Grosjean moves up to 12th, so he's sort of making progress, but not enough to make a real threat to me. So Raikkonen sets the fastest lap, 141. My best so far is only a 144, so I'm slightly off at the minute. We need to pick up the pace again if I am to have any chance of winning the race. It's not impossible. This is one of those tracks where I can catch up on the lead cars, but not by much. I sort of eat a few tenths of lap most of the time. So that's why I shouldn't let Spuds Raikkonen get too far ahead of me. Yeah, there we go. I seem to have a bit of trouble with that corner sometimes, go off wide, but it's not the end of the world. I feel like I have more grip than I actually do have sometimes on those corners. But there you go. There you go. There you go, I just keep using that phrase again. It's like anyway, I say anyway a lot, and there we go. My phrases of the series, I suppose. So going through to complete lap 6. 7 seconds ahead. Oh, it's starting to get a little bit painful now. That mistake on the first corner seems to be costing me quite a bit. Unless I can pull something magical out the bag, then I might be having to settle for a podium place, but not a win. There you go. I should be able to pull back some time on the prime tyres. It's a very weird thing. I don't know if anyone else is like this, but as I said before, I seem to be faster sometimes on the prime tyres than I am on the options during races. I know the fuel load's going down during the race, and the grip level's going up. Excuse me. But it's the same sort of thing in practice as well. I seem to be doing really well on the primes, but not actually gaining as much time as I should be gaining on the options. I don't know why, it's kind of weird. I do kind of push to the limit, I suppose, on the options, but if I push any further, I do lose grip sometimes. So it's kind of a weird one. But mainly I probably should just be a bit more consistent around the corners. The age-old problem. So Raikkonen's coming to the pits. I'm going to come into the pits myself. I'm going to completely cock that up. But at least it doesn't penalise me for anything like it did in... well, like it did in Japan, but that was a massive corner cut in Japan. Before I went into the pits. Hopefully I'll get no sodding pit lane exit penalty, but there is pretty much no pit lane exit here, so shouldn't worry too much about that one. That was a bit of a crappy pit stop. Button's just going through there. Just make sure I stay out of the way of him. Yeah, about 5.8 seconds got held up by traffic in the pit lane. So that doesn't make my life any easier for catching Raikkonen, who is how many seconds in front at the minute. Gonna have to wait till Button and Co go in for their pit stops. Grosjean's a car ahead of Button. So it looks like we're going to beat Grosjean easily today. Gonna make that... oh, I don't know actually, hang on. Grosjean... I beat Grosjean in Italy. That's one. One to me. Grosjean beat me in Singapore. That's 1-1. Grosjean crashed out in the first lap in Japan, so that's 2. 2-1 to me. And if I finish ahead of him here, it'd be 3-1 to me. So I should be able to get his seat. I don't know. Maybe it'll go on for another race yet, but it does look good. Gives me a pretty comfortable gap to win my 4th challenge out of 4 in the driver rivalry. I think I challenged Grosjean last year, didn't I, by accident, because I wanted to challenge one of the McLaren guys. But this time it's very much intentional, because I want his seat next year for my own little playthrough of the last final season in this game before F1 2013 comes out. So, yeah. So I've had an interesting little career. Started off at Williams, made my way up to Mercedes, where I won the championship, then on to Ferrari, McLaren, and now Lotus. Hopefully, if I manage to pull off the driver rivalry. But it's looking good so far. Well, I didn't quite expect to be Grosjean in Japan, so that gives me one up so far. So, yeah, Raikkonen's 5 seconds ahead. It's doable. I have to admit, it is doable in these last 3 laps. So let's give it a go. What was I talking about? Yeah, when 13 comes out, I'll try and maybe stick to the teams that I haven't driven for before. So maybe I'll like start in a backmarker team, or I'll start with Force India or something. Or maybe I'll start with like a backmarker team and then move on to Force India, or I don't know. I don't know really, I haven't quite figured that one out yet. And then I'll maybe go to what other teams? What other teams are there? Oh, I haven't been in a Toro Rosso. But then again, I don't usually touch them because, you know, like Red Bull, I'm a bit more of a traditionalist when it comes to my F1 teams.
Brilliant lap. You're driving as well as I've ever seen. This is exactly what we need until the end.
Because I don't know, as successful as Red Bull are at the minute, I always just see them as a drinks company rather than a racing team.
Okay, it looks like the car ahead is trying to
But,
create a gap.
oh well,
Running full rate,
that's just
maximum power.
my problem, I suppose. But maybe I should try and have a go in a Red Bull or a Toro Rosso or something. Then again, if I'm going to try and keep the racing a bit interesting, maybe I should stay out the top 3 teams or something. Maybe apart from McLaren, because they are not actually that good this year, so maybe I can have a stint with them for a while. Take Perez's seat or something. But we'll see. We will see. Plus, I don't know when I'll be able to do that, start that series anyway. Especially with whatever's going on in my life at the time. I hope I will. I hope I'll find some time to do it. Because I'd like to be there from the beginning. Like I was this time. Last year, I should say. So, let's chase down Raikkonen. It's 5 seconds. And I'm on the prime tyre. I should be... Oh, actually, yeah. I think I'm on the rich fuel mix, and I've taken 3/10 out of Kimi's time. Grosjean's up to 9th. He's making progress through the field, which is fine by me. I don't really care, as long as he doesn't score that many points, I suppose. Got to think of that Constructors' Championship as well. Yeah, I think I'm in rich fuel mix. I think I flicked it up at some point and I've forgotten about it. So I don't have quite so many laps left as I think I do. So I certainly intended to give it a really good push at the end of this race. Try and catch up to him. You can see I've already taken 6/10 out of him on this first sector. Well, at the end of the third sector and the first sector. It was 5 seconds, now it's 4.4. So the chase is on. Just got to keep the bloody thing on the track, and hopefully I should be able to maybe have a chance at overtaking him in a few laps' time. Maybe on the last lap, because it's gonna be a bit tight. Just a little bit tight, but you know how it is. Especially with my driving, anything can happen. For all you know, I could be planting it straight into a wall somewhere. Especially with the latest street-like section this circuit has. So this circuit is kind of dull in terms of the landscape, but then again it's reflecting real life, isn't it? Because there's meant to be a facility here, an all complex with shops and things. It's meant to be like a whole little community around here, but it just hasn't happened yet. Which is kind of weird. But it is nice to see the docks far in the background. Seems we're not far from dockyard when they build massive container ships. That's pretty nice to see. So the gap's around, what was it, 2 point something seconds? I can see him just going around in front of me. It's teasing me, absolutely teasing me. I just want to reach out and swat him out of the way. And he's running full revs now. I think I've realised by now that I'm on full revs. I'm not sure. Or I'm waiting to get to the straight to have a look at it. Yeah, 2.5 seconds. So I've eaten into his lead. Doing purple sectors, which is all good. Get a good run out of here. Let's have a look. Fuel for 1 lap more, so I'm in a bit of trouble.
We've only got a few laps left to pass this guy, so if you're going to do it, it needs to be soon.
I need to make up some considerable lap time on this lap if I'm have to any chance of taking the lead. Lap 12 of 14. Time is ticking away. Spud sets a new fastest lap of a 1:40.5.
We advise mix 2.
Yes. Unfortunately, now they advise mix 2 because the fuel has gone down to optimal, as I'm about to check in a minute, I think. Yep. So unfortunately, I've got to switch down, otherwise I'm going to run out of fuel. Don't want that to happen to me again, like it did a couple of seasons ago, I think now, in Canada, where I pretty much blocked Alonso on the way to the finish line. 1.7 seconds. Is that going to be enough for me to make a gain in these last couple of sectors, to maybe have a chance at getting at him on the DRS zone? I don't know. Well, I do know. I know what happens. You can only wait and find out, or skip ahead. Yeah, as is the beauty of YouTube videos. Just click where you want and then find out what happens. So 1.2 seconds, I'm almost within DRS range. So tantalisingly close to the Iceman. Ah yes, that's what happened. That's what happened. That ruined my whole bloody race. You do not want to know how much filth came out of my mouth when that happened. Because I was so damn close. And now he's built up a bloody gap of 3 seconds again. So close. It's not the first time I've fucked it up towards the end of this Grand Prix. I was in the lead once, I think, a couple of seasons ago in Mercedes. And I threw that away, which was irritating. But yeah, I was really pissed. So now I'm angry at how I managed to spin out. I don't quite know how. But yeah, whatever. At least I got a massive gap to Schumacher, so I'm not under any particular threat. It's just going to be a bit impossible to catch up 3 seconds to Raikkonen now. I've only got 1.5 laps to go. I know that may be a disappointment for some of you guys. I've never managed to do it, but this is love spuds we're talking about here. I do manage to create my own problems, but seconds not too bad. Just unfortunately, Lotus is gonna get the advantage in the constructors' points, especially with Grosjean moving up the order. It's just irritating. I can't get back up to fuel mix again. You see, I'm whittling down the times again. But it's a bit too little too late now, unfortunately. Last lap, I could have been able to make a move for first position if I hadn't have spun there, sort of skidded out. So yeah, I am really irritated about that. It's a loss of a few points, especially when I'm trying to concentrate on the constructors, trying to find ways of getting Jensen up in front of me, but he's too far back for that one to happen today. Grosjean is in 7th, so he's moved through the field quite happily. So they're going to get the points for 1st and 7th. I think Button's just outside of the bloody top 10, so that's not great. But yeah, we'll see the state of the points in a minute. But yeah, Kimmy's just there in the distance. Just close enough for me to see him, but just a bit out of reach. It's really unfortunate that I had to end the race like that. I gave up by this point, by the way. That's why I'm going so slow. So I was like, ah, fuck it, I'll just cruise home. Had a 10-second gap to Schumacher, so yeah, fuck it, I'll just enjoy it. At least this way I can't spin out. Yeah, I was in a bit of a mood, unfortunately. But never mind. 2nd, at least, is a podium. However many podiums I've scored this season now, it's got to be over 10 now, surely, I think. But anyway, at least I finished ahead of my rival, which is the main thing. And yeah, if you're wondering why there's no music on this bit, it's because I accidentally skipped this bit, so I had to like slow the time down quite a lot. But that's the results. Didn't manage to see the rest of them because I accidentally skipped through it. But never mind. At least you had a good little bit of a look at it. But in the Drivers' Championship, we are still leading, obviously. Still 2 race wins in hand, so all good. Got it under control. Got Nico Rosberg at an arm's length at the moment. Jensen there in 8th. He's slowly moving up the table at last half of the season. I wish he'd done it sooner. But there you go. Shit happens. Unfortunately, the conspiracy of me not being able to win a Constructors so far is coming true at the minute. But still, we are within touching distance of home. It's just a little bit harder now that we are 23 points behind Mercedes. Mercedes are going strong. And I don't know, I'm not quite sure, I can't remember, but I think they may have won a Constructors before, or they got beaten by McLaren when I was at Mercedes, because I definitely didn't win with them. I don't know, maybe I have to look back at that, see what actually happened in previous seasons. But anyway, that was a bit of a weird commentary, I suppose, this time round. Didn't have actually much to talk about, I was just filling it with a load of waffle. So, yeah. Anyway, join me next time for round 17 in India. I'll see you then.